Hey there, it's Brock with Straight Line Delivery. I just saw a quote from Buddha that really kind of, I think, sums up a lot of people, everybody. And the quote was, "The trouble is, you think you have time. The trouble is, you think you have time." How many times do we say, one of these days I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to work for myself. One of these days. I mean, think about something you said that you promised yourself you would do 20 years ago. One of these days, I'm going to, and then fill in the blank. Now, did it happen? Did you make it happen? Did it just sort of happen by chance? A lot of times I see people with the best of intentions and the best work ethic and just they've got everything there, but they just don't have the decision-making skill or just maybe the money at a certain amount of time, at a certain time in life, to just pull the trigger and do what they want. COVID shutdown has really showed me that it's such a good thing that I decided, hey, one of these days is now. 10 years ago, I decided one of these days is now. If I don't change something in my life, if I don't do something different, everything's always going to be the exact same. I was making a pretty comfortable living. I didn't need to, do something different because my industry was dying or I was, in dire straits. I don't have a diploma. I didn't get a certificate that says I can weld underwater or anything crazy like that. I just thought, you know what? I really need to kind of do my own thing, because if I don't, I'll always just sort of be, right here. I can never really turn things up and really get more out of life because I'm working for somebody else, and I'm an employee. An employee will only ever make so much money. At some point, if you're not taking all the responsibility and some of the risk, there's just never going to be a big reward for that. So I want to wish everyone that watches this channel and that sees this video a happy new year and a Merry Christmas. And remember, there's a new administration coming in. I've got some thoughts on that. I'm going to make a video about that, explaining what that's going to mean to you buying new equipment, what the tax liabilities are going to be, and how that translates to you still being successful. But I've been in this business when fuel was $4.35 a gallon, and I've been in this business when fuel was, oh my gosh, I think I filled up. It was a long time ago, like a buck something a gallon, $1.05 or something, something crazy like that. But back then, I was working for other people, so I never got to realize the benefit of those savings. Turns out it doesn't really matter when you have a business like freight, or you're in the medical field, or you're in food supply, something like that. Those are critical. Remember the banks they bailed out? They said too big to fail, so they bailed them all out. When you're in a business that's too big to fail, which trucking is, then yeah, you can have some bumps in the road, but the road doesn't disappear out from under you. It's not like we're making horse-drawn wagons here. There was a limited time once they started making cars. If you were making horse-drawn wagons, you better find another career. We're moving freight across America, and whether they have more trains do it or ships, that you still got to get it from a central location to your different cities and communities. So it really doesn't make a difference. Even when they have self-driving trucks, let's think about that. I hear people freak out about self-driving trucks. What's going to happen when self-driving trucks come out? Well, when you're hauling flatbed freight, maybe your truck will have to be autonomous one day. It means it drives itself. But you still have to check the load because loads shift. Somebody still has to be there to take care of that. They can have all the technology in the world, but there's nothing like a human going out and visually inspecting something and tightening loose straps, or moving a strap from here to 6 inches that way because it's for some reason just shimmying loose, or a chain broke. There's always going to be a need for some of us. The equipment that you may be required to have can change. That's always changing. Just think about, catalytic converters and all sorts of smog pumps and things like that. That's been equipment changes that have been required through government intervention throughout the years. And when that comes out, the same thing always happens. People freak out and go, "Oh my God, we're going to go out of business if we have to have this. The trucks are underpowered and they're expensive." And the cost of freight just goes up and up and up, and you pass those costs along to the customers. So the shippers and receivers just pay more. My allergies are killing me. But so this is one of the most, I would say, safe industries that you can be in. And so what I want to say to you, what my message is for a new year to you is, if you're already in a safe industry, or you've been thinking about getting into a trucking industry in some shape or form, just know that, in my opinion, and I've been doing this for 10 years specifically to what I'm doing now. I've been on loading docks and things like that since the 90s. But I don't think, anything more secure than the medical field, which I have no desire to be in, or transportation, because it just has to happen so people can eat, so people can build roads. Equipment has to get from one section to the next. I'm going to be releasing a video that will kind of detail what I've been through different administrations and tax plans, and how I use those strategically, depending on the time of year and the time of month and who's in office and what their plans are, how you can strategically place yourself for financial success regardless of what's going on with any administration, any government, any taxes, any legislation. Now, this video right here is just to encourage anybody who's thinking about doing their own thing. Your life, once you are able to own your own equipment, have write-offs by owning that equipment, you can live a much richer lifestyle without using nearly as much of your own money, and I'll get into that in my next video. But working for somebody else, you will always be right here. You can get slight increases in pay, but you can never take leaps and completely change your life, completely reorganize and change how you do things and how your family lives, unless you are willing to make that leap and do your own thing. I know we are looking for a few more trucks to add this spring because the workload has increased. I believe that's due to smaller operators going out of business because of COVID. I hate to see that. If you're one of those people that's had a tough time, you're a good worker, you've got your own equipment, you're just not getting the loads, you need some help, give me a call. Even if you have no intention of working for me, I'd love to, as a business owner, listen to your game plan and just give you some quick advice, my opinion, on what I think will happen with your game plan and how I think it'll work for you. So again, guys, Happy New Year. Hope you guys make the best of 2021. And if you've been on the fence and you're not sure about taking a leap, doing your own thing, I would encourage you, now is the best time to do it. Not just the best time because of COVID or the new administration coming in or any of that stuff. Just, you're only going to be this age for this year, and then you turn another year older and you miss another opportunity, and you can only work for so long. You can only do this for so long. So the earlier you get started, the better luck you're going to have with maybe passing this down to the next generation. Maybe someone in your family, maybe your kids, can take this over for you, and you can reap the benefits financially and just, I guess, spiritually or relationship-wise. You can reap the benefits of passing something successful on to another generation, and financially making your kids give you some money weekly for what you built for them to take over. So to give you some peace of mind. They can earn a living, but they gotta pay up for the tracks that you've laid. So start now. Again, Happy New Year, guys. 2021 is going to be great. And if you ever have any questions, there'll be something at the end of this video right at the bottom here. You can email any questions that you have. You can give us a call. Thanks, and happy holidays.